It is now 8:38. It's Pete. I've got the beach, and Ben Brown is here from Community Bank. How are you?
Oh, doing well. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning. And you brought back with you.
I did. I've got a special guest today. This is Dawn Zinner Gaudy, and she's our director of our retail bank at Community Bank.
And welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
It's always a pleasure when you guys come. I tell Ben all the time I love banking there, so it's all good. I really appreciate it. But today, I assume there's a reason why you did bring Dawn with you.
Absolutely. So Dawn took over the director of retail bank back in January. So we're almost 6 months in, and she's been working throughout our branches, really working on our client experience, right? How do we make sure that we serve our clients correctly and the best way possible? So, and one of the things we've been focusing on lately is, first off, prices are high, right? Inflation's here. We're hearing a lot about that in the news. If you've had to do any home repairs lately, the bills for that are a lot more than they used to be, right? But everything's expensive. So we've been talking about, what do we do at the bank? How can we provide some kind of credit here? And we're going to talk a little bit about home equity loans and home equity lines of credit. Because we found that, some people don't know exactly what that is, or they might have heard about it or called a HELOC or something like that. And they're like, what is that? So we thought, hey, we take a couple minutes, we just explain what it is. So, kind of educate some folks and let them know what's going on.
Okay, now here will be the goal. Can you do this in terms that people will go, okay, now I know?
That's why I brought Dawn.
Okay. Okay, let's hear this, Dawn.
Well, it's got to be easy for me to understand too, so that's got to be easy for everybody else to understand as well.
All right.
But we are doing a home equity line of credit, basic, easy, simple. It's a flexible way of having a line. It's like a revolving line of credit, and you use it whenever you need it. You don't pay interest on it until you use it. So it's flexible. You can access it any way, which is really great. You can come to the bank. You can write a special check. You can you can use it for home repair. You can take a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Yeah. I mean,
do I have to fib?
Yeah. So let's back up too. So home equity line of credit. So you've got to own a home, right?
True. Yep.
So you own a home.
Okay.
Most of the times you have a first mortgage. So like you have a mortgage when you buy the house,
Yeah.
right? Years go by and you build up equity. So that means the value of the house increases. You're paying down the loan, and the difference in that is your equity, right? That's how much money you've got kind of sitting there in the home. So the home equity line of credit is the way to unlock that equity or tap into that equity. So if you find yourself needing money for home repairs, a car, education, life, whatever it may be, you can get a home equity line of credit. It's a second mortgage traditionally on your home, so it's after the first mortgage. Or it could be a first mortgage if you don't have a first mortgage. You can just put it as a first, and that's a little different program. But it's a second mortgage, and then as Dawn said, it's flexible. So say you get a $25,000 home equity. You don't actually have to take out the 25. You can just have the availability of the 25. So if something does happen, you've got a source of cash ready to go that you can access at any time.
So then they would give you, in a case like that, they would give you, say, okay, I know I have the $25,000 sitting here. Something bad happens. I got to write a check for it. That's all I have to do. And then I begin paying.
Correct. That's correct.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it's flexible. So if you go out to the meadows and you hit it well and you hit the you hit the 777, you can pay the whole thing off, right? Or you pay a little bit each month, right? It's got different terms with it, so it has flexibility, and that's the key, flexibility. And some people are on like bonus type things where they get a year-end type bonus or something like that, and you can use that to pay it down, and things like that. So it kind of allows. It's kind of a safety net, number one, that allows people to, once you have it in place, you've got that ability to borrow it whenever you need it, right?
Okay, so can you can do this at all your branches?
You can do it at any branch, but you
Okay.
can also do it online.
Nice.
So quick and easy. You come into the branch. You can have your questions answered. If you want to have a more in-depth conversation on how you're going to use it, and you can do that. But you can also do it right online.
And here's what Dawn did to make this fun. She said, let's do a special.
Oh.
Why not? So normally these home equity line of credits, they're based on what's called the prime rate. And that's published in like the New York Times and things like that. And it's the prime rate of interest. So right now that's around
8.5.
8.5,
Okay.
right? So that's normally, and that can be prime plus one, prime minus one, prime plus a little bit minus, somewhere around that. But so Dawn said, let's make this a little fun and give people something special. So here's what she came up with.
So we have a promotion. So it's going to be 5.5%. So it's prime minus 3, and you don't hear about those interest rates anymore. Not getting to that level, right? And so that's locked in for 6 months. So if you are someone who traditionally, like a lot of Americans, have not wanted to take a little step back on your lifestyle, and you've placed things on credit cards, and you want to now consolidate, catch your breath. You can do that with a home equity. You can, as I said, take a wonderful trip, or you can do some home repairs, which is what we're in the middle of right now, and getting some things done. So
if they, this is a good time then if they go, wow, this credit card stuff's out of reach.
Yeah.
So you get that, and then you're doing it. You've got 6 months at 5%.
Absolutely.
5.5.
5.5%.
That's
5.5% for
right.
6 months.
That's incredible.
So
It's
then
incredible.
After that, it adjusts with
sure.
the prime rate, and there's also disclosures there on the website, subject to collateral and approvals and things like
Right.
that. So I can't forget those. But yeah, it is an opportunity, and it's a chance for if you've gotten over your head maybe a little bit with some credit cards or done a little something, maybe this is a time to say, hey, let's take a step back, let's put a plan in place, let's think about this and get us out.
Sometimes that's all it takes to help people out too.
Yeah.
Especially the times we're living in right now. As you said, everything is like whacked.
It's
Absolutely.
crazy.
It really
You go to the
is.
grocery store. I came out of the grocery store and I had 2 bags and a very large receipt.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Not long, just large.
Just
the dollar
large,
amount, yeah.
How can these 2 bags be $100?
Yeah,
This is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
I get it. I do get it.
Right.
This sounds like a wonderful program too, and for you to come up with something like that, I don't know if people really appreciate it. That there are people sitting around going, we got to do this to help,
Yeah, absolutely.
because we're so used to being. I got to watch my words here. I don't want to. we're so used to being beaten down.
True.
That when somebody says this is something for you, we don't want to believe it. But that's great.
No, absolutely. I mean, and I think we're all feeling it, right? The economy and all of that, right? So as a bank, we've got to step in at times and give people a break. And so that's what we're attempting to do.
And of course, we just launched the CB.bank a couple months ago.
Yes.
So
Yep.
now we've got online applications. So you don't even have to come in. You can sit on your couch or in your car or at the kids' soccer game or wherever you're at. Work it out. Fill out the thing online, type it in, and hit submit.
That's true. Although we love seeing you too.
That sounded like a dad that knows how busy it is.
I do a lot of work at soccer games, let me tell you.
I instantly thought of that as soon as you said
I'm
that.
not
I'm like,
scrolling Facebook or TikTok. I'm on emails. I'm doing my work.
That's right.
I got to work at the soccer game. Go ahead, kick that ball.
That's right.
He's the king of multitasking.
Oh, I know. He really is. I saw, it was really funny because I saw him at the Running of the Wolves as well.
Yeah.
It's funny. He says, come on over here. I'll get you over here this way. And he's like jumping everything. He said, hey, I'm going to walk around. I'm old.
We didn't trip, we didn't fall, and you did amazing. That was an awesome day. It really was.
We got
was a great
through it.
day.
It was wonderful.
Yeah,
it really
it
was.
was.
Listen, I really appreciate you coming in, Ben, Don. Thanks so much. It's
you.
a pleasure. And the best way to get a hold of you, just walk into your local branch or go online.
Absolutely. That's it.
CB.bank.
CB.bank.
And if I can remember it, I know it's easy. Thank you for explaining all this. I really do
pleasure.
appreciate it. I'll tell you what, let's get a little tropical. Here's Jimmy Buffett, 95.3 WJPA.